What's up everybody, welcome back to A Ball and a Goal. My name is Cornel, and in this video I'm gonna try to shed some light over one question that is on everybody's mind this week. Which player should I bring in ahead of the Game Week 3 deadline? Or if you have the luxury of rolling a transfer, which players should you bring in after the international break? Now a couple of things before that. The transfer window is still open until Saturday night, so proceed with caution. Some players' place in their team might be under threat, especially after the international break, if new signings are coming in. I will only look at the teams that will play 3 out of the next 5 fixtures at home. That doesn't mean that the players from the other teams are a bad pick. It just means that I'm trying to find that extra player, a special player that will bring a lot of points in our teams. Out of the 10 teams that will play 3 games at home in the next 5 fixtures, I will ignore Manchester City and Arsenal because at this point pretty much everybody who plays this game has at least 3 players from these 2 teams combined, and because even if they are playing all the games for the rest of the season away from home, you still want their assets in your team. I will also ignore Leicester and Everton just because even if they are playing the rest of the season at home, they'll find it hard to score. Based on goal expectancy, I will show you the top 3 players from all the other 6 teams. The only requirement being that they should have played at somewhere around 140 minutes. The only exception that will make it on this list is MIDFIELDERS. I couldn't leave him out after the performance he had at the weekend. Then I will eliminate the defenders and we'll mix it all up, and in the end we're gonna have top 5 midfielders and top 3 forwards to pick from. Enough with the talking, let's look at the data. And I'm going to show you the team in alphabetical order, so no biases here. The first one is Aston Villa. Leicester away, Everton at home, Wolves at home, Ipswich Town away, and Manchester United at home. Actually, one thing I want to mention about Aston Villa is one of the 2 teams on this list that doesn't play any of the top 4 from the previous season. So the top 3 players based on XG is no surprises here. Ollie Watkins 0.62. He should have scored at the weekend, to be fair. He put Raya on the spot, probably the save of the season. One thing I will say about Watkins, other that probably he's not even sharp enough yet because he was late after the Euros. One thing that puts me off probably is the Champions League that will start the first midweek after the international break. I'm pretty sure he will start the games in the Champions League, and to be fair, I'm not quite sure that he will start every single game in the Premier League. And for a price of 9 million, you want a striker who you should not be afraid that he will start or not. So from that point of view, I wouldn't consider him one of my top priorities. But definitely he's a good finisher, and even if he misses one game, he still can get you plenty of points. Onana here with 0.36. To be honest, he had 2 very solid games. Scored in the first one, he should have scored in the second one, hit the crossbar. And then McGinn at 0.1. He is on penalties, so if you think that Villa might get 2 in the next 5, he could be an interesting pick. But definitely Watkins, the one that I'm looking at here. Brentford next. Southampton at home, Manchester City away, Tottenham away, West Ham United at home, and Wolves at home. Kind of mixed fixtures right here. Definitely the next one is great on paper at least. Top 3 players, Visa 0.57, and then 2 defenders, which is not surprising because usually they are very good at set pieces. And the central defenders will chip in with the header from time to time. Collins at 0.21 and Ayer at 0.14. Visa is one that, to be honest, if I had the luxury of making a move just for game week 3, is probably the one that I'll bring in, because that fixture with Southampton at home looks very, very juicy. Brighton next, Arsenal away, probably the hardest fixture, for sure the hardest fixture out of the next 5. Then Ipswich at home, Nottingham Forest at home, Chelsea away, and Tottenham at home. Good games, I'll be honest, except the Arsenal game, which is away. Other than that, I can see them scoring in every other game. Welbeck first, 0.70, Mitoma second with 0.49, and Joao Pedro third with 0.29. It's hard to pick. I mean, it depends if you want to go for a forward or if you want to go for a midfielder. It's a coin toss for me between Welbeck and Joao Pedro. I think the only thing that put people off from going for Welbeck at the beginning of the season especially was his age. Congratulations to him actually for scoring at the weekend his 100th goal in his professional career. But all of them, if I remember correctly, play almost the entirety of the games. Maybe a couple of minutes at the end, Mitoma was substituted, I think, in the second one. But anyway, good minutes, good picks, all 3. Like I said, it all depends if you want to go for a midfielder or you want to go for a striker. And even between Welbeck and Joao Pedro, I think it's a coin toss. For me, all of them are very, very good picks. Chelsea, it's the second team from this list that doesn't play a top 4 side from the previous season in the next 5 fixtures. Crystal Palace at home, Bournemouth away, West Ham away, Brighton at home, Nottingham Forest at home. Madueke first, 0.58, Jackson second, 0.42, and Palmer third, 0.39. Again, at Chelsea, you don't know who's going to come in until Saturday. So it all depends. Definitely, if you want a solid pick, Cole Palmer is the one, in my opinion. But again, if I had the luxury of making a transfer just for game week 3, I'll definitely go with Madueke, just based on momentum and confidence. I'm pretty sure that he will start this game. Now, after the international break, depending on who is coming and who is leaving, with the exception of Palmer, I can't say that anyone else will definitely start. He is the one that for sure he'll start, he'll play 90 minutes, he's on penalties. So if you're looking for somebody long-term, Cole Palmer is the transfer. Crystal Palace next, Chelsea away, Leicester at home, Manchester United at home, Everton away, and Liverpool at home. Eze first with 0.43, Edouard second with 0.30, and Mateta third with 0.20. Now, at the time of this recording, as far as I know, Eddie Nketiah has signed for Crystal Palace. That doesn't necessarily mean that Edouard or Mateta will lose their place, but usually when things are not going in the right direction, managers tend to make a couple of changes just for the sake of it sometimes. So keep that in mind if you want to pick Edouard or Mateta. Eze definitely the best pick. A little bit unfortunate. I mean, if you own him, you should feel extremely hard done by. But if you have him, keep him. He's a good pick, and definitely the returns will come. He was really, really unlucky in both games. First one had a goal disallowed for a technicality. Then in the second one, hit a crossbar. So yeah, definitely a good pick and one for long term as well. And The last team is West Ham. Manchester City at home, Fulham away, Chelsea at home, Brentford away, Ipswich Town at home. Big Tom first 0.67, Antonio second 0.47, and Kudus third at 0.08. Now it's worth mentioning that Paqueta actually is second with 0.50, but that's because he converted the penalty. However, if you think that West Ham might get 1 or 2 penalties in the next 5, he might be an interesting pick as well. I think, at least under Lopetegui so far, Souček played a different role than the one that we are used to. So I think his position has been a little bit more advanced. He definitely had 2 very good games. And like I said, he's one of these players that can go on a 4 or 5 games run in which he will return pretty much in every single game. And then he will be quiet for the rest of the season. Antonio, I'm not so sure. I think Fulkrug is being eased in, and in my opinion, he's the better player. And I won't be surprised if after the international break, he will start as a number 9 for West Ham. When it comes to Kudus, he's one of these players like, for example, Adama Traore, or an example for another league, Rafael Leao. I was just watching Parma Milan's highlights. He's one of these players that can go on a run, dribble past 3-4 people, but in the end we all know what's going to happen. He's going to cross the ball to the opponent pretty much every single time, with a few exceptions. There are players who can score wonder goals, but the final ball, the final pass is always going to be a problem. Alright, so now that we look at these 6 teams and the top 3 players based on XG from each one of them, let's look at the top 5 midfielders. Souček comes first. He got 8 shots, 1 on target, which was the goal, and 3 chances created. Madueke, 6 shots, 5 on target, 1 chance created. Mitoma, 4 shots, 3 on target, 1 chance created. Eze, 12 shots, 4 on target, 4 chances created. And then Palmer, 7 shots, 2 on target, 6 chances created. Like I said, if I had to make a transfer just for game week 3, I will definitely go with Madueke, just because of the momentum and the confidence. If I have to make a transfer for long term, definitely the best pick is Cole Palmer, by far, I'll say. And then I think it's a coin toss between Mitoma and Eze. Mitoma, I think, has got the better fixtures with the exception of the Arsenal game. But Eze is the Crystal Palace talisman. Definitely will play 90 minutes. He's going to be on penalties. So yeah, like I said, a tough call between the 2 of them. And Big Tom, I don't think he's going to make his way in our teams, but he definitely deserves credit for what he did over the weekend when he stopped from celebrating his goal and helped the little boy who was crushed at the edge of the pitch. So kudos to Souček and also Jared Bowen as well. The last thing we're going to look at is the top 3 forwards. And we got Welbeck, Watkins, and Visa. Welbeck 5 shots so far, 3 on target, 4 chances created. Watkins 2 shots, 1 on target, and 2 chances created. And Visa 2 shots, 1 on target, 1 chance created. Again, if I had to make a transfer just for game week 3, I'll definitely go with Visa. That fixture at home against Southampton screams a lot of points to me. But the one that I'll go, if I had to make a transfer for a long term, will be probably Welbeck. And if it wasn't for the Champions League, I'll definitely go with Watkins. I just think for that price, you want a player who you have to be sure that he's gonna start every single game and play almost the full game. Now again, might be a little bit concerned about Welbeck. It all depends if Brighton sign a new striker or not. By the deadline, Saturday will know that, so you can delay your transfer and then reassess after the international break. That should do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you find it helpful, and I wish everybody a wonderful day. Until next time, bye bye.